Rod Hill joins us right now as we start this Wednesday edition of the 5 a.m. hour of Sunrise. Rod, what do you have for us weather-wise?
Well, a new storm warning for starters for the Cascades. Looks like another foot of snow could fall up there today. Snow levels are going to be higher than they've been. Today they rise from 3,000 to 4,000 feet. That snow level goes up to 6,000 feet tonight. And because of that snow melt that will bring, especially over the Coast Range, we are all going to be under a flood watch Thursday and Friday, and there are a handful of area rivers already expected to at least be near flood stage Thursday night. So we'll talk more about all that coming up. Right now, it's gentle rain falling from Salem to Portland. You get some breaks between Portland and Longview. We're at 40. This is going to be absolute widespread steady rain this afternoon into early evening. 44 at noon, 44 at 5 p.m. Tonight, by the way, the temperature goes from 44 up to 50 degrees as we get that push of warmer air. Again, lots for me to talk about in about 8 minutes.
All right, we'll see you then, Rod. Thank you. Now to our top story. A Multnomah County Sheriff's deputy and Gresham police officer both on leave this morning after shooting and killing an armed robbery suspect. Now, this all started just before 5 o'clock last night at a key bank off of East Burnside. That's when Gresham police got the call about an armed robbery. Multnomah County deputies spotted the getaway car soon after, but the suspect took off. They say there was another person in the car. Also, during the police chase, the suspect drove out of Gresham, into Troutdale, and back into Gresham. The sheriff said while driving, that suspect shot a number of times at responding officers before pulling into a parking lot and carjacking someone. A deputy with the sheriff's office and a Gresham police officer fired at the suspect. They were killed at the scene. The accomplice was arrested, and the victims in the carjacking will be okay. We expect to learn more in the coming days.
Now to the dangerous weather conditions in some parts of the state. This new dash cam video shows how slick things got on Highway 26 near Mount Hood on Monday. The Clackamas County Sheriff's Office shared this video. Wow, that's a close call. Fortunately, in this case, there were no serious injuries. Highway 26 is now fully reopened as of this morning. And we also visited Hood River, where many folks were digging out of the snow. It was falling nonstop for 3 days, and some areas got up to 3 feet. Two people who work downtown in Hood River said they spent about 4 hours clearing their driveways and their sidewalks. All that snow also meant some delivery trucks couldn't make it to businesses yesterday.
So today we don't have any dough and I don't have any cream cheese. So it's hard to own the business with the trucking not being able to get here.
It dropped anywhere from 18 inches to up on the hill. We've got 3 feet in some spots, and it's been relentless.
Some people getting into Hood River yesterday say they spent the night in their car on Mount Hood, unable to drive in these extreme conditions.
All right, let's get to some of this morning's top COVID headlines, and we start with Oregon setting another record for number of COVID cases reported in a single day. Tuesday's daily report from the Oregon Health Authority included more than 4,500 new cases. That's 1,000 more than Oregon's previous one-day high, which was set just last week. Yesterday's report also included 44 new COVID-related deaths. Now, most people are not getting seriously ill during this latest surge, but still hospitalizations have gone up a bit here in the last few weeks. There are now 510 people in Oregon hospitals with COVID, and experts expect that number to continue rising through January.
Well, this surge has really raised concerns about school sports and other extracurricular activities. Portland Public Schools has announced it will continue those activities, but they're now requiring students to follow the same safety rules they did in the spring. That means athletes and performers must wear masks now at all times. Concession stands will not open. Access to locker rooms will be limited, and no overnight travel for students. And also, here's a big one, spectators have to show proof of vaccine or a negative COVID test. PPS said it'll continue these protocols through at least February 4th. And this comes after the Oregon Department of Education recommended that these extracurricular activities pause to limit the surge of Omicron.
Yes, KGW's Christine Pitawanich found out one local district decided to cancel basketball practices and postpone all games even before that state recommendation.
Well, I'm Jolynn Trippy, and I'm a senior at Riverdale High School.
Jolynn Trippy loves basketball, and this year is her last shot on Riverdale's varsity basketball team.
The girls team has won League twice in the past 3 years, and we could do it again this year.
But she worries that opportunity is in jeopardy after a couple players on the girls and boys varsity basketball teams tested positive for COVID. Now practices are canceled and games are postponed. In a statement, a Riverdale School District spokesperson says after collaborating with the county health department and the Oregon Health and Science University, the district determined that additional students may have been exposed because students competed without masks. The district says it's offering tests and expects results later this week, though it's still unclear exactly when players will be able to get back on the court.
Just disappointed that, I've worked so hard, and then senior year, it's just unfortunate.
But Jolynn, who is vaccinated and got her booster, says she's also confused.
If we're going to be suspended from play, then how are we still allowed at school?
So it doesn't make a lot of sense.
That's Jolynn's dad, Joe Trippi.
High school is kind of the end for this kind of team experience. When do we acknowledge that we've taken every reasonable mitigation effort to allow these kids to participate on some level of a new normal?
Jolynn says she's willing to play and practice in a mask or even bring players up from JV to keep playing basketball.
There are other solutions, and I would like support in finding them.
The district says once players return to the court, they're going to have to be masked at all times. But Jolynn says by that point, it's possible the team will have missed a number of games, which puts them at a disadvantage. That's why she's hoping they'll get back to playing as soon as possible. Christine Pitawanich, KGW News.
The University of Portland joined other schools in Oregon taking additional precautions because of the Omicron variant. U of P will now require a COVID booster for all students, faculty, and staff. The deadline to get one is February 1st. Students are being asked to get tested for COVID before they come back from winter break. The University of Portland will also go virtual for the first week of classes starting January 10th. Well, the CDC has updated some booster shot guidelines. If you've received the Pfizer vaccine, you can now get a booster 5 months after your first 2 shots. That's 1 month earlier than the previous recommendation. There are also changes for kids 5 to 11 who are immunocompromised. They can now get a 3rd primary dose of the Pfizer vaccine 28 days after the 2nd shot. There's no change for people who got Moderna and Johnson & Johnson vaccines.
All right, Rod, the time was 5:01, 7 minutes ago. You told us you had a lot to talk about in this weather report, so the floor is yours.
Yeah, thank you. Here we go with a brand new watch warning map from the National Weather Service. You can find this on my KGW Rod Hill Facebook page. Another winter storm warning for the Cascades. Foot of snow today through tonight. That's not a terribly big deal, right? We do have storm warnings, you'll notice on the map, that include the gorge, but here's the catch. The gorge at low elevations will be above freezing during the day today and see a wet mix or rain. And even the upper Hood River Valley, snow levels today could get above 3,000 feet. And that includes a lot of you folks where you would just have a wet mix. You would get perhaps some snow tonight, but snow levels are going to eventually go all the way up to 6,000 feet with a warm push of air that starts this afternoon and then really gets into high gear overnight tonight. So I think you really have to get high up to have additional big-time snow concerns. The headline on this graphic to me is the dark green, and that's a flood watch that's been issued for Thursday and Friday. And right now, a lot of the rivers, especially the ones coming out of the Coast Range, are expected to be at least near flood stage Thursday overnight into Friday morning. We'll be keeping you updated on that. Here are those gorge temps I talked about. It's warming. Hood River 37, Mosier 39. So that's some improving conditions today. Here's the moisture flow coming into the state. Steady rain mostly between Portland down through Salem and Eugene right now. Snowing up in the Cascades. Rain out in the gorge at low elevations. Most of the rain, the biggest push, is going to be this afternoon into tonight. All total through Friday noon. This gives Portland and Salem well over an inch of rain. It puts out amounts as high as 4 inches in Cannon Beach. So again, we're going to be pretty wet at times through at least Friday morning. Here are the temperatures right now: 40 in Portland, 45 degrees in Salem, 33 out in Baker City. So lots to watch until the rain shuts off Friday afternoon, and then we're dry Friday night all the way into Tuesday of next week.